I reminisce about the love we had. I reminisce about the love we had. Tender moments seem to go so fast. Reminisce, reminisce. I reminisce about the love we had. I reminisce about the love we had. A love so strong it will never pass.
Love Park Connection. And we are rolling.
Hey, everybody. How you guys doing?
Hey, everybody.
So today it is Q&A. We kind of decided, since we are getting some questions in, that we're going to try and dedicate at least one day a week to, just answering a few questions. We're not going to be here. We're not going to be on here long, but just, answer a few questions and, help y'all out as much as we can. So, but why are you sitting up so stiff? He look like he's stiff. He just look like he just stiff.
Just kind of raise up a little bit. Let me show my Fog City Drums shirt,
You need
shameless
to get
plug.
You need to get a shirt for the other.
Saluda?
Saluda.
I know, I need to get the Saluda shirt.
Get the Saluda shirt.
My symbol endorsement, y'all. Yeah. Saluda ready, baby.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug.
Anyway,
we're gonna have a couple shameless plugs in this one.
Oh my God. So, but before we get started, let us introduce ourselves. Welcome to Love Park Connection, where we talk about the pains and pleasures of life, love, and relationships. I know I stumbled over that, huh?
Stumbled over that.
I didn't sleep well last night.
It's all right. It's all right.
So, anyway, welcome again to Love Park Connection, where we talk about the pains and pleasures of life, love, and relationships. My name is Angela Parker.
And I'm Pierre Parker.
We are a husband and wife marriage and relationship coaching duo. We have been married for 28 years, together for over 30 years. And it's our goal to help Black couples communicate more, love more, and build healthy long-term relationships and marriages. So,
Yep.
So let's get started. So one of the questions that we had today, well, not today, but one of the questions that we had was, my partner and I often find ourselves misunderstanding each other, which leads to frequent arguments. What are some effective strategies or ways we can use to communicate better and reduce conflicts? So the first one I'm going to say is really listening. And that's easier said than done because, like we've said in other episodes, we're so busy we're hearing it, but we're always, what answer? Or we're defensive. We're trying to figure out what we're going to say next instead of really listening to our partner.
Yeah.
And trying to really understand where they're coming from. And then also sometimes we need to repeat back, maybe not verbatim, but repeat back what they've said to us, just so we know that we are understanding what they're trying to say. And if it's not, if we're saying something that's totally off the mark, then your partner can clarify that. And then that leads to fewer misunderstandings.
Yeah.
So that's one of them.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That is a good one.
And brothers, I know sometimes it get hard because after a while, you trying to hear, but after a while, sometimes, they get long-winded.
Well, hold on. Wait.
What?
Hold up. In this relationship, that's the long-winded one. This one right here. I'd like to try to get to the point.
Well, yes, you do. You try to get to the point, but I know sometimes brothers, sometimes it'll start out, we'll hear them, and after so long, it starts sounding like the teacher on the Charlie Brown things. Well, it's like wop, 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 wop. Because it's just too much. It's too much information. It's information overload. So, but I mean, you guys are trying to get your point across.
But one thing I will that someone had said to me when
Mhm.
I was talking to her about one of the arguments that we had.
Mhm.
And she was saying, what was what was the disagreement about?
Mhm.
And I told her, but the disagreement went from one topic, but it expanded into so many other areas.
Yeah.
And she said, you guys didn't focus on that one issue.
Yep.
That one issue went into 12 different other issues.
Mhm.
And I said, you know what? I didn't think about that. You're
Yeah.
right. Because we get into the heat of the debate
Mhm.
and we don't realize that, yeah, it's going off like this.
Yeah. And I'm good for that. I'm good for that because I'll start throwing out examples and all of these other things, and examples start
Morphing into another
morphing
topic.
into other stuff, and so I'm bad for that.
So
I'm not gonna say good for that. I'm bad for that.
So yeah, try to keep the discussion, the disagreement, the conflict on that one topic. Because
Yes.
when you start getting veering off into too many topics, you kind of lose sight of really what the main problem was.
Yeah.
And then you can't resolve that main issue.
Yep.
So that's one thing.
Yeah.
Use I statements. So instead of saying you do this and you do that,
Mm-hmm.
I feel that, or I feel like, or I feel unheard.
Mhm.
So your partner doesn't feel like they have to go on the defense.
Yeah.
So that's another area where we have to really be careful.
Yeah.
And also using you always, because
Mhm.
they don't always. 9 times out of 10, your partner doesn't always
No.
do this or do that. So refrain from using you always,
Mhm.
because again, that's being a little dramatic, and men do it, but I definitely know, because I have caught myself doing it, and I'm like, he doesn't always. It just feels like it in the heat of the moment.
Yeah.
And you're feeling some type of way that word just seems like it fits, but it doesn't, because neither person always does the same thing all the time. So
Exactly. That's a good one though.
that is a good one.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Because both of us always be like I said, look, always.
Always. No, we don't always.
But both of us use that quite a bit.
We have used that quite a bit.
So yes.
And practice empathy. Try to see the issue from your partner's perspective and acknowledge their feelings.
Exactly.
Acknowledge them, because you want them to acknowledge how you're feeling. So acknowledge their feelings.
Exactly.
And another thing, and he does this, not to me per se, but he does this.
What do I do? What you talking about, Willis?
You can't tell your partner how they should feel. You might want to, but you can't tell them how they should feel. It might be a little dramatic in your opinion, but the one thing that I know that can be a trigger for some people is you telling them, or you're making it sound like you're telling them that their feelings don't matter, because to you it's a dumb reason for that person to feel that way, and it's not. It's not. So you have to be careful of trying to tell your partner how they should feel about a certain situation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was our first question. So I hope that answered a few of you, or I hope that those answers helped a little bit.
And fellas, well, one
go ahead,
quick
baby.
thing, fellas, just like she said, the empathy part. It's hard for us to actually, a lot of times, feel that part, the empathy, and try to understand the emotions that they're putting out and all of that stuff. But we have to get past ourselves and our anger or whatever it is that we're doing, and we have to try to understand where they're coming from as much as possible. If not, it's not going to work. Right. So you have to practice that empathy. You have to have that. So,
and if all else fails, get a mediator, get counseling, get coaching. If you guys can't seem to find a way to communicate that is making you both feel heard.
Yeah.
So that's the last suggestion on that one.
Yep.
So you want to you
The
read the
next
second one,
one.
baby.
Peepers. These peepers. All right. We've been married for over a decade, and while we still love each other, the spark seems to have faded. How can we reignite the romance and keep our relationship exciting? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Date night. Schedule your date nights.
Yeah.
And I know it's hard, especially if you have children, but it's important to spend quality time together, uninterrupted, and even better, just sitting and talking, finding a quiet place. Sometimes we do it more now since we're empty nesters, but
Mhm.
just drive to a location, a beautiful location, a quiet location, and just talk.
Just sit and talk.
Just sit and talk.
Mhm.
One of my favorite locations is just at the marina. It's
Mhm.
just, we see the bay, we're looking at the ocean or
Mhm.
the water, the mountains, and if it's a beautiful sunset,
Mhm.
we could just sit there for hours and just talk.
Yep.
And that's really our time for bonding and connecting without having to spend money,
Mhm.
without having to do too much. Because again, if you're doing too much, yes, you're spending time together,
Mhm.
but are you spending quality time together where you two are reconnecting?
Yep.
So that's important
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Or go take a drive somewhere.
Take a drive. Oh,
Take
that's
a drive.
yeah. We
Look,
have some. Yeah.
we've just taken a drive in the Oakland Hills and just
Yep. Yeah.
drove and just talked and just enjoyed our company together.
And thank goodness he has a good sense of direction. Because if it would have been me driving,
We'd have
I've been lost before.
lost. We'd have been in a ravine somewhere, and we'd have been like, "Lord, help me! We ain't got no cell signal. Oh no!"
Anyway, so yeah, take a drive. Just spend some true quality time where you guys are, I don't want to say forced, but forced to talk and communicate.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Shared activities.
Yeah.
Engage in activities that you both enjoy.
Yeah.
Whether it's, cooking, which is not my activity, but
Yeah.
hiking.
Hiking.
Okay.
Yeah, hiking. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, it's cool.
Again,
Just a nice walk.
a nice walk. Yeah, because sometimes hiking, if you're not in shape, there's gonna be problems.
Or you ain't ready for it. You didn't bring some water, or you didn't bring the right shoes. It's a wrap.
Even taking a dance class, I'm trying to get him to take a dance class.
And
And I know that wouldn't be his favorite activity, but it'd be
Yeah.
something different,
Yep.
that we've never done before. So, and
Look.
even trying something new,
Look, going to the shooting range.
right? Going to the shooting range. Exactly, which we need to do and we haven't.
Like,
But
they a
nonetheless,
violent couple, huh?
nonetheless, shared activities.
Yep. Look, wait a minute. Shameless plug.
Uh-oh. Yep.
Look, shameless plug. This is something that we do sometime.
And
there's
no,
a-
we're not. We don't have any. We're not making
No,
money
we're
off
not
this.
making no money off of this, but this is a great thing. It's a card game, and it's called Tonight Let's Talk, the
Mhm.
card game. I'm gonna
Yep.
put it up here like that there, see?
Yep.
And this is the couples edition.
Yep.
Oh, maybe I need to turn it
No,
this way
that's fine. The
or
couples
that way,
are-
whichever one. But it's the couples edition. And they just got all kind of different
lots of different
lots
questions.
of different questions, and
yeah.
it's fun, and they go back and forth. But they also have this version, which is the after dark version. So it get kind of risque on some things, you know what I'm
Did you
saying? And
say
some
risque?
things can happen afterwards, you know what I'm saying?
Did you say risque?
Risque.
Like a man. Anyway, so
But
yes.
yeah, real quick, that's one more time. That's Tonight We Talk. So
Mhm.
yeah, these are pretty cool. There's some pretty cool card games, and actually we play some, and it actually helped us out a lot
Right.
on some things because at the time we played it, it was a little some tense things going on, but we played it and got a lot of laughs out of it, and got and found out some things and found out some fantasies and some different secrets that I was like, oh, excuse me, girl, I didn't know that about you. Hold on now.
Anyway. Anyway, he going off the deep end tonight. I think he's more tired than I am. He's going off the deep end right now, so I apologize, y'all. So that was question number 2.
Mhm.
Hopefully that helped, helped out a little bit. And let's see, was there
Yeah.
anything else on? Oh, no, that
Oh,
was
no, no,
no.
no.
Go
And then
ahead.
the other one, wait, that one, what,
Right.
no.
No, that's the other question. This is the one. This is number
Oh,
2.
this is the one where we
Mm-hmm.
forgot the
Mm-hmm.
little.
That's not it, babe.
Okay, whatever. Okay,
Okay.
just
And
basically.
then like he
Go ahead.
and like Pierre was just saying with the card game, open communication that really helped to open up
Mhm.
our communication. And like he said, we found out some things, and we've been married for a long time, and sometimes you just don't, you take for granted your partner.
Mhm.
You do take for granted because you figure, oh, I know everything about that person and so forth. And as we get older and as the relationship um has more years behind it,
Mhm.
you do change. And I mean, and ladies, we change, men change,
Mhm.
you do change, hopefully for the better. But sometimes your changes don't always, you don't always talk about your changes and who you're becoming, what you want to do in your life.
Yeah.
So those kind of conversations need to be had, because it's not fair to either one of you if you both aren't communicating and saying, this is what's going on with me right now. So
Mhm.
it's important to have that open communication.
Yeah. And one other thing that we that you can do is you know surprise gestures, meaning give them a surprise text or things like that, or
Yeah,
good morning, honey. I give
he
her,
does. He's
I
good at
text
that.
her a lot, and I be like, good morning, my queen. Hope you have a great
He
day.
does.
Love you, and all of that stuff. Give them little things like that, or a surprise little gift. Come in like she likes Pete's coffee, and then we've
Red
said this and
Bull.
other things. She likes Red Bulls, and she likes stuff like that. She's very simple. So, I, no, that's a compliment.
Okay. She's
That's
she's
a
simple.
that's a compliment. I mean,
I know, baby. I'm just messing around. I know.
but yeah, she likes, simple things like that. So I could come in with something small like that, and surprise her with things like that. So
Mhm.
those are stuff, those are different things. You don't have to spend a lot of money on stuff like that. And the person who's getting it, don't, if it ain't something that you normally or whatever don't like or whatever, then don't be like, no, I didn't necessarily want this, or I didn't need this, or the worst thing you could say is, I didn't tell you to get this, or I didn't ask you to get it for me.
Right.
That's don't do that.
No, yeah, don't
But
do that. Yeah.
nah, just little gestures, little small little things like that. That stuff helps it on. And then one other thing I was gonna say is, and this may sound weird, but time away from each other. Time away. Like ladies, go on a weekend with your girlfriends. Go somewhere. Go do things. Because when you
Time
apart,
apart.
time apart, when you come back together, sparks fly.
And especially for older couples who are either in retirement or about to retire, and you're empty nest,
Mhm.
so it's like just you two. You
Yeah.
definitely need to have your own activities and hobbies and time apart. So yes, that's
Yep.
important to
Because
keep
spending,
the sparks.
yeah, because spending time around each other all the time, it can get taxing. And
Yeah.
you start being like, hi babe, how you doing? And then
Right.
it's just like the
It's a
everyday
routine. It
routine
becomes
thing.
a routine.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, time apart helps a lot.
Yep. Definitely. Definitely. And
So,
let's see. Oh, we're pretty good on time. We can do one more. One more. So, my partner and I come from different backgrounds and have distinct parenting
mhm.
philosophies. This often leads to disagreements on how to raise our children. How can we find common ground and parent more effectively as a team?
Mm,
So,
that's a good one.
that is a good one. Now, even though our parenting styles were similar,
Mhm.
um, I he how am I trying to say this? He is my son's stepfather. We don't say, we
We
don't
don't say
use that
step. We don't use
because
that.
he raised my son,
It's my
our
son.
son. He raised him from the time he was 2.
Mm-hmm.
So
And he's 36 now.
He's not that old. He's not older than Jasmine.
Okay, 35.
Yes. Anyway, don't be making my baby older. Anyway, so I had to trust that he was going to parent him and be the father that Tyler needed. And even though we had similar parenting styles, I still had to let go and trust that he was going to parent Tyler the way that I saw fit as Tyler's mother. And he did. So even though we have some idea of what this person is asking, it's still a little foreign to us because we were pretty much on the same page. So for this particular couple, you need to have a united front.
Yes.
You need to present a united front to your children, discuss and agree on key parenting decisions behind closed doors. Don't do it in front of your children. Were you going to say something? Go ahead, baby.
And if you guys have disagreements, have them behind closed doors. Don't let your children see it.
That's what I said, baby.
Oh, is that what you said?
I did. You weren't paying attention.
I was paying attention, but I mean,
you weren't listening.
Okay, my bad. She just said that. I didn't. I'm tripping. I'm tripping. Look, I was doing what we were saying earlier. Don't be thinking ahead. Don't be thinking ahead.
So yes, like he said, do it behind closed doors.
Yes.
And if you got little ears, because sometimes little ears be pressed up against the doors, especially as they get older, you might have to wait till they go to bed. You might have to go sit in your car and have this discussion, but just don't have it in front of the children, only because then they know how to. They're good. They'll figure out how to pit you guys against each other if they see a little
crack in the armor.
I
call them crowbars. They just like to get themselves in that crack and just crank this crank and just split y'all apart.
Yeah.
No,
don't
let them do that. Our kids tried, and it was always funny because, like, our daughter or our son would go to her and be like, "Mom, can I do blah blah blah?" And then she would go, "What did your daddy say?" And then they'd come to me and I'd be like, "Well, what did your mama say?" So we was always, if she said yes, then I was like, okay, if your mom said yeah, okay.
Right.
A lot of times I was the harder one because the no word was always, so they'd have to coax me and
that no just flew out.
But I started to get a little bit easier later on, but still, you can't let them divide you. Now, one thing I was going to say about it in this case, I have some friends who's a couple, and their parenting styles was totally different as well. And this is one thing you have to think about. Their parenting styles was different. One was a disciplinary type person who he grew up, spanking. The other one, she didn't want the kids to be spanked. And unfortunately, the kids are grown, or pretty much grown now, and they're a hot mess. But you guys got to be on the same page on that.
Yeah.
At some point, you got to be on the same page with the discipline part of it.
Right. And if spanking isn't your thing as a couple, that's fine. But just be on the same page on how you're going to discipline your children. Okay.
And you guys got to also remember, I'm sorry, I keep going on, but you guys have to remember one thing. As far as a man and his son, there's a point in life where the son challenges the man, challenges the husband. And ladies, when it comes to that point, you guys need to step back. Step back. Let the husband deal with it. Because if not, the son is going to run all over the husband. And then he's going to run over you. Yeah. So, and it's the same thing with little girls, young ladies with mamas. They have their way of challenging. But it's not so much, I don't know if it's so much like men and young men. But they have their way of challenging as well. And fathers, you got to step back and let them deal with it.
Right.
But it needs to be taken care of. It hasn't been taken care of as of lately in these years now and these times. That's why we got these kids that's acting a damn fool. So you gotta let the man handle the challenging part of it. It usually takes place when the kid becomes a teenager. He starts feeling himself, and this is all in the animal kingdom. That's why you see the prides, you know, the lions, the leader of the pride, and you have a young one that come up and want to challenge him, and then the older one have to put him in his place. So let that happen.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
Anyway.
Okay.
Did I get on my soapbox?
You did.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But that's okay. That's okay. We're just gonna go quickly now. Respect differences, acknowledge and respect each other's perspective, and find common ground when possible. Create a plan. Develop a parenting plan that outlines your shared values and strategies for handling common issues. And again, if all else fails, get professional help. There's nothing wrong with going to see someone saying, hey, we got different parenting styles. We can't seem to come together, and you need to come together for the betterment of your children. Okay.
Yep.
So that's all for tonight. We're going to get on out of here. Yes, please, please, please. I forgot to mention this in the beginning. If there's any value that you found in our content, if there's something that you like about our content, please remember to subscribe. Please remember to hit that like button. It's really important. And it's free. You know, your support is free by hitting that like button and subscribing and sharing our content. And
that's it. Buy the book.
Oh, yeah. One day we're gonna. I know. I keep saying it. Have a podcast on the book and talk about the book. And I know I keep saying it, and we haven't. Just so much going on. But one day that's gonna happen. One day I need to start really pushing my book.
Yep.
But anyway, y'all, thank you so much for joining us. And I hope this was of value. Or please remember again, subscribe, like, share our content.
And
you help
comment.
us and comment. Yes. You know, you help us when you help us build this community. You're helping us help other couples. So thank you. We truly appreciate your time. And we will see you again soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.